set out your goals for each season, is winning the MVP a goal of yours?
Yeah, eventually it's tough to, everything has to go right for you to win that award. You usually have to have the best record. A lot of things play into it, so I'd like to win one eventually, but it's not number one on my list for sure. Yeah, I feel like going into every year, that's my goal. Play better than I did the year before. Trending that way, but like I said, still a lot of football left to be played, a lot of plays to play, a lot of games to play, a lot of practices to get better, so that's how we got to take it.
Anyone that wins the NFL MVP award would say, I'd much rather win the Super Bowl MVP award. It was a long drought from 1999 with Kurt Warner until 2022 with Patrick Mahomes of someone getting that double dip. But if you have a great season, if you're the one seed and you do the things that a quarterback does to propel a team to be the number one seed, you're one of the finalists to be the MVP. And Peter, it could be Joe Burrow by the time it's all said and done. They have a habit of starting slow, finding the gas pedal, and never stopping. They could keep winning and winning. They could catch the Ravens next Thursday night with 3 losses. They need to get past the Texans first. And, hey, C.J. Stroud, we know what he's doing. But Joe Burrow's looked pretty damn good. Do you think this is the best we've seen of him so far in his career?
I would say the last month, ever since he started playing well after his calf evidently is healed now. I don't think it's 100%. I talked to him a couple of weeks ago, and it didn't sound like it was 100%, but he was playing it pretty close to the vest. I think he's figured out how to play with it. But, Mike, I think Joe Burrow right now, if you trust any individual player in the NFL more than him, I'm not sure who it'd be. And they're going to need that trust this week. Because whether Jamar Chase plays, whether T. Higgins plays, this is a team that's going to come in a little bit wounded to this game. And, Mike, this week when I was sort of looking at some numbers and looking at how guys have played, I think it's fairly incredible that if you look at C.J. Stroud and you see him, he's passed for 51 yards more per game than Joe Burrow so far this year. If you look at the touchdown to interception margin, and C.J. Stroud is leading the NFL with plus 13 touchdown to interception margin, and Joe Burrow is plus 8. A lot of that has to do with the fact that he entered the year not being healthy, and he played hurt early on and didn't play well. But I am just pretty much like everybody else. I'm amazed that C.J. Stroud has come in with a new team, with all new players. And the book on the Houston Texans coming into this year was, just hold the fort. We need another offseason at least to get good weapons and to make sure that we have a good enough offensive line around this quarterback. And, he's defied everything that people said before the year, that this is a growing year. This is not anything, that they're going to be competitive this year. But, Mike, I remember talking to C.J. Stroud after the after the Houston-Jacksonville game, where they skunked the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And I remember talking to him about, you not in these words, but I inferred that you weren't supposed to win this game. You played over your heads maybe a little bit and all that. And he goes, I don't know what is said in the outside world. I don't really care. I go into every game. He said, I went to Ohio State. I go into every game thinking that we are going to win. And I know how good Jacksonville is. We studied them. And they're probably a top 10 team. But I look at us and I say, why not us? I think we're better. And I think it was a good view into the psyche of a young quarterback who believes in himself and doesn't listen to the outside world saying, well, kid, just wait your turn. He's not waiting his turn. He's taking it now, which is why I think, sincerely, Houston's got a chance to go in there and win this game. I don't think they will. but I don't think it's out of the question that they can win this game.
The key is they're learning how to win. They learned how to win last week against the Bucs. The defense let them down. 46 seconds left. The Texans get the ball back. C.J. Stroud takes them down the field to get the victory, to cap that 470-yard day, a rookie single-game record, 5 touchdown passes as well. He really has been great, and they're in position to make a move. You know, every year right around this time, Thanksgiving week or two, somebody finds the gas pedal and off they go, and the Texans are in position to do it, and I wouldn't have dreamed they would have been able to. But the Bengals have shown us that they figured things out. Healthy Joe Burrow, huge difference. You mentioned T. Higgins. He will not play. He's expected to miss the game. Jamar Chase says, in my head, I'm playing until further notice. That sounds a little equivocal, and that sounds like he's beginning to accept that maybe he won't play. The Texans have 23 guys on their injury report this week. That doesn't mean anything until we know who's not playing. So we'll see how that goes. But look at that. Very lengthy injury report after that intense game against the Buccaneers to get them to 4-4. But one of the great games of the weekend, Peter, there are 5 games this weekend involving teams that are at or above 500. Consequential games as we get closer to Thanksgiving and start the home stretch of the season. A lot of great teams in the AFC. Bengals we expected, Texans we didn't, but they have a chance to be right there.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.